Hello friends, hello subscribers, thank you for tuning in to this channel. This video is going to be about public speaking and my advice on it and some embarrassing experiences that I've been through and just some general inspiration. If you have to do any public speaking anytime soon, this video should help you. So, a quick background on me. I am 20 years old. I started college about 6 months ago, and I'm generally a pretty closed off, shy, and awkward individual. Just like many other people out there who have trouble with public speaking. There are people out there, who don't have trouble with public speaking, but this video is targeted towards people who get nervous when they have to stand up in front of people and lose their train of thought, when they're up there and there's all these people looking at them. And, this video is just going to, it's going to help any of you out there who are experiencing that. Now, I had to do a presentation in an English class at my college at a tech school, and it was a very quick presentation. It wasn't anything long. It wasn't a very technical presentation, but I got up there and I basically I stuttered and I made lots of pauses, and just made a huge fool of myself, and I felt that it was a very embarrassing experience. And looking back on it now, I can definitely say that what I did wrong in that situation is I didn't practice enough and I didn't know my material well enough. So definitely my first tip for you to avoid that kind of outcome, to avoid any embarrassment, is to practice to say your speech out loud in front of people if you can. Because it does come naturally to some people. They cannot practice, but just because they're so outgoing and they're extroverts, they can go out in front of a group of people and deliver the speech, no problem. But if you are an introvert like myself, if you've been an introvert your whole life, it's much more difficult for people like us to go up in front of people and operate so smoothly. So, yeah, that's definitely my first tip, lots of practice. And my second tip is to just go up there and not care about what people think. This is a very common tip that you'll hear a lot here on YouTube, but it's much easier said than done. But something that I tell myself often that helps me do this is to just tell yourself that if these people aren't your friends, and if these people aren't people who are very important in your life, there really isn't a reason why you should care so much about what they think. They're just basically strangers, So that's definitely going to make it much easier. Now, just tell yourself that this is just giving a speech in front of people that they're strangers. I don't know them. I may not ever see them again. Instead of giving a speech in front of your family, like at a wedding or something, there is certainly a lot more pressure there. So practicing public speaking is very difficult at first. Your first few speeches that you give will probably involve lots of mistakes and lots of pauses. Your mind will blank, your hands will sweat, just like all the things that happen to people when they're nervous, and it's completely normal, first and foremost. And you aren't the only one, even though it may seem that way. in my specific situation, I was one of the youngest people in that class, and that definitely made it more difficult. And the people who went up there, to give their speeches, they didn't stutter once. They didn't act nervous. They weren't sweating. None of that. Which is great for them. That's good for them. But unfortunate, for people who don't have that kind of experience, and it can certainly sometimes feel like you're just completely alone in that. So it's very important not to give up. You're not going to become a good public speaker after your first 2 or 3 speeches. It's going to take lots and lots of practice, to develop a good rhythm, and to develop some self-confidence. And self-confidence, that's a very relative term. Us as introverts, we do feel self-confident, but we just communicate in a different way. And being so upfront is a bit more difficult for us, and that's because we think a lot more than we talk. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you ever go up and you do make mistakes and people laugh at you, which is very possible, that happened to me, like pretty much the whole class, like they're either laughing at you, or they just look super uncomfortable, and don't let that affect you, and if it is affecting you, if you absolutely can't block that out, don't show it. That's very important. You can be, extremely, embarrassed and humiliated inside, because you're just not used to this kind of thing. But as long as you don't show it on the outside, and you're talking slow and you're not showing signs of nervousness, nobody's going to know that. So, well, yep, that's pretty much everything. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I sure hope that you liked it, and I do want to make more videos about these kind of topics in the future, because I've definitely had a lot of embarrassing experiences in my life, and I'm not an outgoing person, and if you're watching this video, and you're like that too, we're a pretty rare bunch, and this channel can be a place where we can all get together and talk about those things. So, yep, that's it. If you haven't subscribed and you like this video, consider subscribing, and have a good one.